The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
Well, folks, I don't know about you, but not much else has changed as far as the news cycle goes since I last spoke to you on Monday. Los Angeles is still burning. The mayor is still
being an idiot.
Just doesn't give a shit about her own city, it seems like. And,
Mr. Iguana makes his triumphant debut in America. That was in the news cycle.
Well, cool. Max apparently has more stories than I do, for like.
No, there's from AAA Wrestling was on set. You crazy thing, Sam. We're talking about the riots, right? I want to point out the insaneness of the story I'm about to tell you, because you got to realize that while that big riot on Saturday was happening, there was also across town at the stadium the first ever WWE AAA wrestling luchador event in LA.
Yeah.
Since Worlds Collide in 94, I think it was, with WCW. This was the first AAA luchador wrestling broadcast on American soil, and it's the first one since their deal being purchased by WWE. And a hot Mexican crowd, Sam, came out not to burn the place down, but to watch lucha. And those people were treated to Mr. Iguana's debut. A lot of buzz around that because it was very entertaining and heartfelt. Shout out to the main event with Vikingo and Chad Gable tore the fucking house down. Yeah, it was just a blast event. A lot of fun. And it was great seeing those people were there, right, celebrating their Mexican heritage. They weren't down the street burning America to the ground. So I want to, shout out to those people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Most of which I bet you were probably citizens and had better things to do than go burn their town down.
Probably.
And so they went and watched some awesome luchador Mexican wrestling.
Yeah, which, that is like Hispanic culture that should be celebrated.
Bro, I have always been a big lucha guy. I was literally explaining lucha to my wife throughout the whole broadcast and translating the Spanish promos because, you kind of want to know what they're saying to some degree, and I'm pretty good. See, wrestling is not exactly college level.
No.
I don't speak Spanish. But I understand wrestling, and I speak enough Spanish to translate a good wrestling promo. Unless they get really off the beaten path, and they usually don't. So
right.
Well, wrestling. It's wrestling. It's not Shakespeare.
Well, just like with music, right? Like, maybe this is a bad analogy, although I think it's a good analogy. But like the arts are things that don't necessarily, unless it's like the written word, there are some art forms that you don't necessarily need to like understand the language to be able to get them or appreciate them
Yeah,
even.
wrestling can be one of those, even if it is scripted and predetermined, and
Right.
especially lucha. And that's what I've always loved about it is like lucha is unapologetically corny. Sam, did you know that?
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
they don't have any problem with the good guy being the good guy and the bad guy just being a dick. They don't need a gray area, and they don't need it to be much more complicated most of the time than I want to be the best, so I'm going to wrestle the best. And this guy's cheats, and so I don't like him. That's
It,
that's all they need. And the Mexican fans, they get hot. You notice I always lecture like American wrestling fans because they act like a bunch of fucking nerdy queers, where they're like, I don't know, they're just like oh my gosh, this is a fan. Oh my god, they're all mad now because Cody, Tiffany Stratton, and the Street Profits went to that Trump rally. Did you hear about that, Sam?
I
That's
did
hilarious.
I did
Shout out, by the way, to my boy Montavious from the
yeah.
Street Profits, who is super Christian. Are they shocked? I wouldn't be shocked if I was them. I would be surprised that a couple other wrestlers didn't like beat down the door to try to go too.
Same.
And not the people that the nerdy wrestling fans might think either. The liberal values like CM Punk has are actually not as common amongst wrestlers as people seem to think. But anyway, my wife had a blast watching Lucha. It was awesome to have Conan on commentary. He provided a lot of insight into the history and tradition. And then Corey Graves talked over him like a fucking asshole. And I really enjoyed that. And then I didn't pay attention because we had planned, even though she was sick, we still planned we were going to watch wrestling that day. And so I wasn't really watching what was going on. And then when I finished watching wrestling, LA was on fire. And I was like, I was just watching an entire day's worth, Sam, of wrestling in LA, and it never fucking came up.
Yeah, no, I think we've at least I've said this before on the show, like generally during the weekends, like I don't pay much attention to the news unless I have like people directly
Unless it's like an attempted assassination or something.
right. Well, literally like that was the last like it's funny you mentioned that more this because that's literally like the last like weekend breaking news story that I literally paid attention to. But no, I was just like I think I was watching a movie or something on Saturday, and friend of the show, Jake Widmer, who's been on multiple times. I shouted to him.
So just neither one of you
He-
guys watched AAA or Money in the Bank?
I watched bits and pieces. I didn't watch the entire thing. No.
I
I just want to be clear, you guys don't watch the shows so that when you share pictures of the girls, I know that it's just for pervy reasons. All right, continue.
yeah. Is that from Maxine?
Of
No,
course
that was her, but that was just for me. Yeah, I figured I put two and two together there. If you guys aren't watching the shows, why are you sharing all the fucking women?
because
big fans
because attractive female. That's why.
Yeah, well, there you go. But
yeah,
it wasn't said.
But at least I can admit it.
Right. That
yeah. I
really,
can
you're the side dish to this anyway because you don't act all embarrassed like he does. So
I can admit it too.
yes, but it takes a minute, and you look all sheepish as shit, and it's good for ratings. I've done the research, Sam.
And it takes Morpheus to admit it first.
That's right. And Morpheus is just like, I don't give a fuck. Yes, I like looking at pretty ladies. Is that a problem? And Sam's like, yeah, me too.
Hey, I don't
Cute.
necessarily try to deny it like some people do. Other Craig, which by the way, he has been relegated to Other Craig.
He does watch the show though.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he does.
That's right. That's why I wanted to make sure. You guys were like, we don't watch the show. Well, then you missed a couple great perv out moments with Stephanie Vickers that had my wife pop. The double devil's kiss and then the double devil's kiss on the ladder was pretty. The Money in the Bank women's ladder match, despite that I didn't like the ending, actually fucking ruled.
I did see that.
And
I
to be
did
clear,
see that
I watch clips
It
like on
was-
Twitter. I just don't watch it live anymore.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
only
same.
we only really watch the pay-per-views. I mean, and Raw now, actually, because Raw's been good. I'll say this: the women's division on Raw has been so competitive, and it's bled over into NXT so much that I've been seeking out watching some of those matches too. And I usually,
That's good.
Sam, I'm always like, there's too much fucking wrestling,
Yep.
but it's been pretty
Yeah.
good. It's been pretty good.
I do.
Triple A is, look, if you don't care, if you don't know anything about it and you don't follow the modern product, both of you, Sam, Mort, go on to if you got a couple hours, I think it's 2 hours long. If you got 2 hours to kill just watching something, please go on YouTube for free and watch the entire AAA event up there. It's fucking awesome. If you like wrestling, you'll
Will do.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's all it's not got any of the politics and the storylines and the back and forth. It's literally introducing you to most of the lucha people, right? And it's really fun. It's just a fun show.
I
Well,
Sign-
on the same topic of lucha, I loved Lucha Underground when it was a thing.
Yeah, Lucha
Yeah.
Underground was great. I've been a big fan. I've watched every Triple Mania. I'm pretty sure I've watched every Triple Mania, which is the AAA main event of the year, their version of WrestleMania, right? And I'm super hyped because that's actually next week and it's set up great. And I'm going to tell you, they haven't made the main event match, but after that amazing fucking match between El Hijo del Vikingo and Chad Gable, I'm pretty sure that Vikingo's next big defense is probably going to be against what some might argue is the greatest luchador of all time, El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that match.
I'm almost embarrassed to admit this because I know, I know Jack Black is cringe, but my introduction to Luchador unfortunately was from that movie he did back in like 2004, 2005. But it sparked enough of my interest that I actually like looked up like luchador clips like on the internet like for YouTube, and that's kind of what got me into it. So it's fun.
I mean, it's a throwaway movie for the most part. I'm not gonna say it's good
Oh,
or bad.
oh, it
It's one of
totally
those things,
is.
but it might pique your interest if you're a young person with lucha. Like, what's that about? I will say
Yeah.
this, Sam. It is based somewhat on a true story.
Yeah.
There really was a orphanage running priest that secretly wrestled as a luchador for years, and he's a legend in the country. That's an absolutely true story.
Yeah, I actually did find out that was a true story, and that is pretty cool. So,
and that's the kind of shit that they like in lucha, right? Is like the good guys are good, and a lot of the bad guys he would fight was like El Diablo, and you know, like they're all literal demons. And obviously, that's another factor. Is like Mexico is a lot more heavily religious and specifically Catholic, right? So a lot of the wrestling entertainment is geared with that in mind. So it's just kind of fun. Yeah, Nacho Libre, that was the film.
yeah, funny that you should mention that, Max, because just as like a side note, I remember going to a Catholic mass probably 10 years ago, and they had like a guest priest, and he was from Mexico, and he said that the reason why he was in the States was because he was on a mission to he was basically on a mission because he felt that America was spiritually bankrupt.
Well, I
Basically.
hope he came across the border legally on this mission.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of
So
coming across the border legally, I'm sure all of these people that are burning the city down peacefully are doing the same, right?
oh yeah, well, like honestly, Max, I think I have to wonder like how many of these protesters are not only like illegals, but how many of them are just like American thugs that are being like paid, you know.
They're mainly freaking old white women.
Yeah, it's all Karens, Sam. I don't even know how many of the Karens get paid. I think Karens do it for the love of being annoying.
It's all Karens and My Steady Piker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and soy boys. Man, Sam, in watching the riots, at one point I literally paused the shot and I say to my wife, help me find one man in this shot of about 50 men that looks like he has an ounce of testosterone. And the answer was the cops. And I said, well, it can't be the cops. That's not fair. So then the answer was, we scoured this picture for minutes, looking, analyzing each guy there to see how masculine he may be. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about Antifa. If men show up, they'll cry.
Oh yeah.
Yelled and you like literally like imagine being a guy and yelling and you have no bass in your voice because that
Yeah, the guy's
sounded like such a twink.
He's like,
oh my god.
If you're a guy and you're trying to convey that you're not only serious but menacing and you can't muster any bass in your voice, what happens is you sound like a child. Antifa. They do drills for all kinds of things. They do drills on how to scream rape if a cop touches you and this kind of thing. You'd think that they could do a drill or two just about the idea of being able to like be intimidating as a man, because my God, like at this point, I'm like, why are the cops just not doing anything? I'll go out there, I'll push them with one hand and they will fall down and they'll cry and they'll scream and they'll be like Peter Griffin when he hurts his fucking ankle on Family Guy.
Yeah.
And then the cops can just come pick him up.
Well,
These fucking pussies burning shit down.
Well, yeah, and these Antifa types are the type that will like attempt to bully Moore and I for being like, you know.
Sam, you saw the video, and so I'm gonna spoil one of the things that happens in it because it's absolutely horrific. And trust me, audience, I spared you, yes, the gruesome details of what happened, but they threw a fucking explosive in the face of a black man in his car, and it exploded and on his hand, and it blew his fucking hand off, Sam. And then, because he was trying to get help, they accused him of being a snitch, and they were running, a bunch of these Mexican kids were running, yelling the N-word at him. On video, live as shit, she heard it. I was like, I had to go back. I was like, did he say what I think he said? Oh, then he repeated it 5 times.
Oh, of course.
This guy, they're yelling that at him. It's not even in whether he's like a Trump supporter or something. The fact that he's gonna call for an ambulance because they blew his hand off.
Yep.
Gets him racial slurs. I can't even.
I mean,
it's insane.
These
people want to talk to us about compassion and empathy and how we're not nice. I have never in my life chased a injured black man down yelling slurs at him. Are you fucking kidding me?
Or threw a pipe bomb in a person's car to get them put in an ambulance to get taken away, and then made sure the ambulance can't get away so that hopefully they die.
Well, this is essentially like mine. This is essentially my like, even like dating back to like before you came on the show. I had said that after January 6th happened and the left was making a whole big like fuss about how much of like an insurrection it was. I said back then, and I'll say again, I don't give a fuck about J6, even if everything you said was true, because compared to the 2020 riots, compared to Ferguson,
They can suck a
compared
dick.
compared to
I've
compared to what's happening in LA now.
I've always said about the bulk of the J6ers that it was a lot more about attention seeking than it was about malice.
Right.
They were just in there taking selfies and acting a fool, and you shouldn't do that. I
Right.
always said that the people that did do that, but I stood by my boys that didn't commit no fucking violent crime. Shout out, obviously, Playboy the Beast, Billy, a couple of Enrique, a couple other people that got hemmed up. Oh my God, Mark Saidi from Super Happy Fun America.
Right.
Bunch of my people got hemmed up on that shit because they didn't do nothing. I stand by that. But when you show me a video of somebody throwing something at a cop, I tell you that person shouldn't get a pardon. That person should have been arrested. And guess what? They didn't get a pardon, by the way. The left is still running with that narrative. I've seen it on the news that, oh, Trump pardoned all the J6ers. No, he did not. And then they'll show a picture of somebody throwing a bottle at a cop. He didn't pardon that guy. He didn't pardon that guy. That's a lie.
Right.
He pardoned people who were charged with trespassing and shit. And then get 5 years in fucking prison for it.
Yeah. No,
but anyway, that's not peaceful though, Sam. We're talking about peaceful protests today. Peaceful ones that we watched live be peaceful right in front of us. And so I made a top 10 list.
And I have to say, Max, like, you really went I thought you went out on the top 10 list before, and you have. Okay, and I appreciate it, but man, like, when this is the most well-produced top 10 list that you've made yet. Well, I'll just say there's music production and everything.
Some custom graphics. I used see, if I'm gonna do the top 10 most peaceful moments, I gotta show you the piece, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually disappear off the screen so they could just see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. So this is this week's top 10 list presented by Max Sand.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Max Sand from Right to Offend Media. This is the top 10 most peaceful moments of the peaceful riots from LA. Coming in at number 10, we have some clearly very, honest, hardworking people out here waving Mexican flags, harassing young Trump supporters, saying they got no bitches. It's very peaceful, as you can see. There's nothing you would be worried about. Here we have number 9. And what we have here is this a lovely, peaceful woman over here. She's being talked to by a police officer, and she peacefully punches him in the face, with a right and a left, to which she's peacefully hit by the other officer there and taken into custody. Number 8, we're coming in here hot with rioting and looting. That's right, we have rioting, we've got looting. As you can see here, most of them getting away. They're dropping the goods. Now, see, this guy here is dumb because he just won't drop the goods, and that's why he's going to jail. Oh, man. You really should have rethought that. If you'd have dropped the goods, maybe you'd have got away. But here you are, getting your ass beat. You hate to see it. Completely peacefully, by the way. It's completely peaceful. Everything here is peaceful. It's a peaceful, loving protest, and that's all we have to see. Number 7, most peaceful moment. What we got here
is they're throwing bricks at the police.
Peacefully throwing bricks at police? I mean, what's more peaceful than that? That's the definition of a peaceful protest, as we all know, when you throw bricks at cop cars and cops themselves. Number 6, coming in, we're getting a little more peaceful here. Here we have throwing an explosive at a young black gentleman's car, which blows his fucking hand off, as you'll see in a moment, completely peacefully. He's peacefully missing multiple fingers, and he peacefully got his car blown up, and It's just so peaceful and loving. Don't you love to see when that kind of thing happens, And he couldn't get any help, of course, because they were peacefully blocking all the ambulances. Number 5 most peaceful riot moments. This one's a personal favorite of mine. She's screaming, "I have babies" in the car, to which they pull her away and steal her baby. So that's great. That's the kind of peaceful thing you do, is you kidnap babies. This is very peaceful and loving. Number 4 peaceful moment. This came about earlier last night. This peaceful gentleman here just trying to peacefully protest, and have a peaceful day with the police, and somehow that fat meth head got away. So there you go. He was peacefully running away after peacefully punching a couple cops in the face. Number 3 most peaceful moment clearly has to go to the peaceful time where they peacefully assaulted the prison bus and then tried to run over multiple police officers peacefully. So as you can see, the piece here is very peaceful and very, very loving and friendly and empathetic, of course. And as he, attempts to run over cops to break prisoners off a prison bus peacefully, with peace and love, compassion for all. And, that's what you have to have. We need these people in our country to bring this kind of peace to us, so that we wouldn't have any kind of peace if not for this. So I think it's very cool of them to bring this kind of peace right out in the open on the streets. Number 2 most peaceful riot moment. We're getting a little more peaceful as we go, if you notice. Pelting officers with bricks again, only from an overpass. So this one is multiple counts of attempted murder from dozens of people, peacefully. Peaceful attempted murder, of course. As everybody knows, this is the definition of what is peaceful right here. Right.
And before we get to number 1, I just kind of want to say that, like, out of all of the ones I've seen, and I watched the video before the show when you posted it, the video of the guy getting his hand blown off, like, that's still jarring to me even now, seeing it.
So I debated whether to include the footage of him at all with his hand. I feel that it was necessary, but I cut so much, Sam, because it was horrifying and it made me want to cry.
I listen.
Shout out to that black guy who literally did nothing to nobody, wasn't part of any fucking protest, wasn't against any fucking protest, and you saw what happened to him. My heart goes out to him and his whole family.
And the fucking leftists are fucking hypocrites, because these are the same assholes who will cry Black Lives Matter when it's politically convenient for them. But what about that poor guy, Max? Does his life fucking matter? Apparently not to these fucking assholes.
Not so much, as they, again, like I said, I cut it out because I didn't want to. In the video, do I want to put somebody calling him the N-word? Not really, because I have to censor it. But yeah, they blew his hand off. He had essentially one stub finger and a thumb left. And then he couldn't get any help because they were blocking the ambulances. So he had to literally run with his hand still bleeding. He didn't even have a shirt on to fucking cover it with or nothing. And they were chasing him the whole time, calling him a snitch and the N-word. So just, that's how much they care about Black lives.
Yep. And also, like, kidnapping children. That's,
That one kind of upset even my wife. She was like, I thought the video was fine, but that number 5, she was like, was a bit much.
I do want to say something about that, though, Max, because, we keep hearing in the left, oh my God, Trump is ripping, children away from their mothers as they send parents back to the border. And it's like, okay, anytime someone brings that to them, I want to send them that clip specifically, because
Well, Sam, there was a debate on that one too. Should I leave that woman's anguished cries in? And I ended up deciding against it because it would make it. I'm trying to be a little bit funny about this by saying how peaceful it is and dry. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did it in one take, but I'm trying not to like laugh, but I'm also trying not to fucking cry at some of the shit. Like that dude's hand, that woman's anguish cries of please, I have babies in the car, and they just pull her away and then they take off with the car.
Yeah.
Insane. This is not like I don't care what you think about ICE raids. This isn't doing anything good. Like if your problem is if your beef is with ICE, what did that woman's children do? What did that guy do? I don't know.
Nothing.
Anyway, yeah, we got the number one left.
Yeah. Great job so far. But yeah, I just wanted to comment on that.
In front of you as they peacefully break up concrete off of the road and peacefully throw it at the cops. And so we come to the most number one peaceful moment I've seen so far in the LA protest, right outside of the famous Dale Donut shop, is this gentleman peacefully shooting his pistol at police officers. You know, I mean, what's more peaceful than shooting cops, right? That's very peaceful. And so I figured we'd end with some peaceful wombats. This is mostly fucking peaceful. The cute creatures was for my soul, Sam. That's the honest fucking truth. Is like, it's a lot to watch this shit, but I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot I didn't put in there just because it was too graphic. Graphic. I watched a man light himself on fire, and then the police beat the shit out of him to put it out. I watched, oh my God, I'm sure Maxine can remember some of the horrifying things, but there was so many. Just watching the feed cams from like the helicopters with no commentary, just watching events unfold. And I did that a couple of days. I do that usually. I try to get multiple perspectives. I try to find on the ground people. And so last night I just decided I would stream that, and it did pretty well. And I figured after watching it, I just had the thought when I finished the stream, I was like, my top 10 list could be all these crazy videos I've seen because this is insane. And there was a day on Saturday, there's a crazy video of when the cops open the garage doors of their cop shop where the protesters are, and they just unload on them. We watched like 15 people get arrested Monday night, like 3 a.m, our time, so like midnight.
Yeah.
The shout out to the little white prison bus that you saw attacked in that video. At the end of the night, prison bus has been putting work in, and it does look in a lot of those cases like those people, because they're going into federal custody, won't be coming back to LA anytime soon. So good job, stupid. You got yourself arrested in order to avoid yourself getting deported, and now you get deported. Good luck. And I have no sympathy. And the people crying, oh, the ICE raids, Max, the poor people getting raided. Look, man, has anybody looked at rent prices?
Yep.
Has anybody looked at food prices? Has anybody looked at the crime rates in their neighborhood and the lack of social cohesion? Okay, we pay a cost for those people being here.
Yeah.
And we voted the popular vote and everything. All 7 swing states, as he says over and over again, said they want deportations.
Yep.
That's that.
Deport them all.
You cannot emotionally manipulate us anymore. People are sick of being fucking concern trolled into and terrorized into. They're actually saying, Sam, we'll stop rioting if you stop enforcing the law.
Well,
No.
yeah. Well, yeah. So I don't think it was you I was talking with, but I was talking with someone, and they brought that up, and I said, yeah. So basically, they're So basically, this is terrorism. Meet our demands, or we will continue to terrorize. Also, I'm glad that you brought up the cost of uh, of everything basically, because if you remember, going back to my interview with
By the
Steve.
way, if anybody is gonna be like, but Max, where does your numbers come from? You want to talk about the cost of immigration? You can go directly to the Center for Immigration Studies website and take a look for yourself. That's where my fucking source is. So before that one guy, Center for Immigration Studies, who's been looking at this for over 50 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sam, I'm sorry.
No, that's a good point. Everyone wants to like, oh, but but what about the poor innocent, illegals who aren't involved in the cartels? What about them? And I hate to burst your bubble, but we
Yeah,
actually talked about this back with Steve Stratton back in January, and Steve said, who has worked with ICE and the DEA, he said the sad truth of the matter is even a lot of the innocent, well-meaning illegals often have connections to the cartels as far as like they
You
report
notice, though,
someone.
my reasoning I just gave, all of it didn't include cartel, didn't include prior crimes.
Right? No,
I was
no, I
talking about the cost of immigration. So yes,
yeah,
these innocent, well-meaning people, they increase your housing prices. We're in a housing crisis. We're in a housing
right,
crisis because they all came here and we didn't have enough houses, and you can't build enough houses that fast. And guess who gets left out? Let me think. Low income Black Americans, veterans, disabled people. These are the people getting cast out so that they can fill these liberal fucking cities where those people would traditionally live in public housing are now being overrun with illegals. And yes, they do live in federal public housing.
yes,
Want to bet? Go
Yeah.
to any federal public fucking housing and you will find illegals living there, any single one in all of America. And if you don't believe that to be true, I have this thing to introduce you to. It's called fraud. Yes, they're not supposed to get housing from the federal government, but they
But they
do, or
do.
the state government.
they're not supposed to get Medicaid benefits, but they
They're not
do.
supposed to get welfare. They're not supposed to work. They're not supposed to be here. But everybody will tell you, no, they don't do all those things. But they do, and they pay. Then they have the audacity to tell you they pay taxes. How do they do that? Pray tell. If they're outside the system, Sam, how do they pay taxes?
They don't.
They don't.
Of course they don't. They work under the fucking table. Like we're stupid. And they tell us all this, and then they tell you, oh, see, so because I told you all of this stuff you know to be true isn't true, then the only reason you could want these people gone is because you're an evil, heartless racist. And you know what? At a certain point, guys, you're never going to logically convince them because they don't even logically believe what they're saying.
Right.
So you have to just say, yes, fine, I'm a fucking horrible racist. Whatever you want to say, stupid person that doesn't understand nuance, can't look at a fucking graph, can't look at the material conditions of the working class, which is funny because that's like that's the thing that Marx said that the left needed to pay attention to get any ground anywhere. This is the number one advice Karl Marx had for the left, was pay attention to the material conditions of the working class. Guess who hates the working class?
The left.
Commies.
So the working class doesn't need to buy their bullshit anymore. Nobody wants to be emotionally manipulated by saying, oh, well, you're a bad person. You're a bad person because you don't want to pay higher rent, and because you don't want to have a shittier job, and because you don't, or if you're low income, white, black, it doesn't matter, but low income, you just don't get the job, right? Because you have to get the minimum wage,
And they
and
don't.
the illegals don't.
I've been told, Max, and I'm sure hopefully Morpheus hasn't encountered this, but I've been accused of being selfish because because how dare I, a natural born American citizen, think that I deserve more benefits than as a disabled man than the poor illegal disabled.
Oh no,
yeah,
not even
I got
disabled.
it too.
And
Not
you know
even
what?
disabled. No, he's illegal and also trans. Therefore, we can get him his trans surgery. Fuck your wheelchair, which we already did the math, right? We could get what was it, like 4 wheelchairs for a trans surgery?
Yeah, you can get
Yeah.
two wheelchairs for Sam, two wheelchairs for Mort.
And you know what? Fuck it. If you guys want to say that I'm selfish, then yeah, I'm fucking selfish, according to these people's standards. Fuck them. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, people are sick of it. People don't like to be emotionally bullied. People don't like to be told that they're bad people. And then even when the thing is normies had to learn when they first encountered woke, and they have, that even if you give them, it's never enough. Normies had to
Nope.
learn this. They had to keep, because they keep giving to them. They keep giving to them, right? And it's like, oh my God, celebrity said thing. I'm so sorry. Oh, whatever will I do? And of course, the apology, we know that an apology to them is just an admission of guilt.
Yep.
Even
And there's no redemption in their religion. So
right.
you can't actually cross the threshold. All it is now you have said you're one of us. And to be more of one of us, you also have to adopt this cause. And you're not up to speed on this cause. And hey, you're not even close on this cause. I mean, my God, you're still drinking Coca-Cola. We're on the boycott. We're doing the BDS, right? You don't even know. Do you have your Palestine flag yet? You better get one.
Right. It's
tiring, Sam. It's tiring even for people who are like liberal and mean well and do have empathy for these positions. It's exhausting.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of
like Bill Maher, great example. He's just exhausted with that shit.
right. Well, not even Bill Maher though. Like just like I actually know people who still identify as liberal who voted for Trump because all the finger wagging, basically they were sick of it and they said, yeah, I don't like Trump's personality, whatever, but this has gone on far too long. And
Suddenly don't mean a damn thing.
Well, what they don't understand, Sam, is they're banking on how awful Donald Trump's personality appears to many people. But what they aren't banking on is the fact that how awful they all appear.
Yeah.
Like they've not thought of this. All they can think about is, well, we got to make Donald Trump look bad. Well, we got to make Donald Trump look bad. Donald Trump, he didn't look bad enough. We got to tell everybody. And oh, you like Trump? Well, you're the devil too. And they haven't stopped to think how they fucking come off.
And it's not working. It's not working anymore. I have to say,
Clearly, because Trump's the president again.
Well, not just that, but like, if they keep this up, and please, lefties, please keep this up, because if you guys keep this, behavior up, we're gonna win in 2028 too. Kamala Harris pretty much endorsed. I know you were watching on Monday. You saw me read the statement from.
She had her little circle jerk artwork. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It also and also the fucking letter the fucking statement that looks like it was like drawn poorly at MS Paint, where it was basically like a statement that should, yeah, basically I fully support the rioters. So, yeah,
there you go. Well, vote Kamala for riots 2028, boys.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I'm so glad
Riot and circle jerks is her campaign, Sam.
Yeah, well,
winning strategy if ever I've heard one.
Well, I mean,
2028 riots and circle jerks.
Well, I mean,
ask Billy Brown.
That's kind of
is her base, though. Think about it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Riots, that's for, all the radical lefties that like to riot. Circle jerks, that's for the trans community.
Well, I also feel though like that's emblematic of the whole entire Democrat Party, though. If you want to think about it, it's
The trans community, yeah, they do look an awful lot like the trans community.
Also though the fact that they've been circle jerking themselves off for like the past 20 years, they circle jerked so hard going back to Obama. If we want to be
Yeah, but like even in the Obama era, Sam, the levels of homosexuality did not peak quite as much as when one man filmed himself fucking another man on the floor of the Senate.
that is true.
They talk about January 6th violated the fucking sanctity of DC. What about the violating the sanctity of that man's butthole on the floor of the Senate?
Yeah. And
No
with that,
justice, no peace, man.
and with that, Max, we actually have a sponsor for tonight's program.
Holy shit.
Perfect time for a sponsor. Great.
When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook
More jokes about butt stuff.
right. Facebook admitted that they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked by the corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we also have Rumble premium content. So that's another
That's right.
reason
You
to
and me both do premium content for
join.
Rumble.
So yeah,
And my wife. But
yeah,
not like that. Rumble's not that kind of platform.
no, but we do, we do reaction streams. We have a lot of good premium content. So use promo code STUDIO, go to rumble.com/premium, and it's a good deal. So
It is. And no ads platform wide. Lots of content. We haven't done our premium streams yet this month, although I am going to do some more Riot watching. Because I've been enthralled, Sam. I've spent countless hours watching, and I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know how much you've watched of the LA/other. There was a little bit in Dallas, it got a little crazy in New York.
I watched your stream last night, Max, and what was funny was I was actually I said I didn't say this to you before the show, but I was actually watching the stream while I was like writing action scenes. I was actually writing a chapter on riots for my book, and just I was basically rage writing. John Ryder might be a little bit more violent in this book towards terrorists and also, terrorists. than in previous books, and you
Well,
know,
you've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's a good way to put it. What the riot is essentially a form of terrorism.
yeah,
It is saying that we are going to engage in lawless / violent activity if you don't do what we want. That's terrorism. However, it's a very specific form of terrorism that not a lot of people have talked about that I'd like to just point out if you haven't heard of before, called a narco tyranny. It's not just the mob that is fucking with you. It is also the police. Okay. Sam, I'm like, I understand that like we have a pro police audience here, and I'm not saying all police, but I do want to say that if the LAPD standing down like that is going to continue to happen, then this is going to continue to happen. It doesn't matter how many National Guardsmen they send, and it doesn't matter how many Marines they send. If the LAPD is unwilling to make arrests where violence is being applied, nothing's going to change, and they're going to come back tomorrow bolder and more ready to commit more felonies and crimes and assault. And you have to rein this behavior in. These are violent, lawless criminals telling you that if you don't change the laws to just let me do whatever I want, then I'm going to do whatever I want and make you unable to live your life and put your family in danger and put your community at risk because I lost an election. Let's face it, they're throwing a tantrum because the election didn't go the way they wanted.
right. That's essentially what that's essentially what this is all about.
And if we give it to them what they want, if we just say, "Oh, fine, we'll just stop," well, then what the fuck is the point of having an election at all?
Right.
And that's what a narco tyranny is. And the LAPD, the mayor there who's giving the stand down orders, and Gavin Newsom, all of them are responsible for, if you're not going to punish people for committing obvious, I just put together a fucking highlight clip of at least 7 or 8 things that you could probably fucking arrest some people for, right, Sam? We all just saw it right here live. You can see it
Yeah.
again. Yeah, I put it on Twitter. I'm going to post it on my channel, but I wanted to kind of put it on the show first, obviously. It's nothing. It's like I said, I've watched a motherfucker burn alive. I watched people throw a pipe bomb into a car with people in it, and then they blocked the ambulances from rescuing them.
Right.
Just a
Cute.
car. By the way, Sam, I was watching that happen live. Oh my God. I think it was like Dad's Gone Wild is the channel. And they happened to be walking by right when this person just walks in, and he just casually drops a pipe bomb in the back seat of a parked car, which then explodes, and the car shoots out because it's one of them electrics. The batteries explode too. Huge explosion
Jeez.
right there on the side of the street. And immediately I wasn't sure, but then I heard people in the crowd from the stream saying there's still a person in there. And sure enough, there was. We did finally see them remove the person, and hopefully they're okay. But they couldn't even get to the fucking car, not just because of the danger of the fire, Sam. That's normal. But because there was a crowd literally preventing them from saving lives.
Yes. You know, like the one question I keep coming back, because I've watched these riots too, and I know there are reasons, obviously, but like honestly, like why would someone live in California at this point? Like you just kind of like I know that I know that there are native Californians, you know, who have lived there for like generations.
I mean, everybody got their reasons. I'd recommend to people that if you can get out of there, especially the LA area,
Yeah.
frankly, if you're in a big city, batten down the hatches the next coming few days, because look, if they're not going to crack down on this open insurrectionist behavior, this terrorism, then it's going to be
get
just
worse.
like 2020. So far, Sam, it's been not as bad as 2020. I'm pointing out isolated incidents that are awful, but 2020 was way worse for way longer. We're not to that level yet, but we could absolutely get there. And it's going to require, and I'm just going to say it as blunt as possible and drop all fucking act. It's going to require cracking some fucking commie heads.
Yeah.
That and let's face it, we're getting into the summer season, and when do most riots happen? When it's nice out.
That's why they're doing it now, to set up for when it's really, really hot. It makes riots more likely.
And also, I hate to burst people's bubble on this, but like I do have friends, and some family members who, I guess you could say, they live in like the nicer parts of California. Like I'm not gonna give like specific locations, but like around the Malibu, area and stuff like
No,
that.
I need an address, Sam.
If you don't,
Me too, Sammy.
if you don't think that this that this crap won't come to your areas, you're mistaken. We reported on the fires that earlier this year that ended up going to the Palisades. Well, a lot of those burned down homes, people are squatting in, the burnt husks now. Surprise. So even in the wealthy, areas, the squalor is starting to go there. The gated community crowd won't be safe from this.
No, and it's California, so no one have a legal gun to defend themselves, most likely.
Everyone who thought I was crazy for moving to Florida instead of moving to California because of the weather, well, they don't think I'm crazy anymore. So
I do, but for a completely separate set of reasons.
well, you think I'm crazy just because, of other things. Unrelated to me moving to Florida at all. Right?
Well, there's a relation. I mean, there's a reason you went to Florida, right?
Hot chicks.
Well, I mean that, but it attracts a certain kind.
What really? What kind is that, Max?
Florida men.
Well, that's true. I see. Even though I was born in Colorado, I am a Florida man at heart. So,
Well, duh. That's because it's contagious.
yeah.
You get to Florida, and you're gonna become a Florida man. Like, Florida man isn't something you're necessarily born with, though you might be.
It can be injected.
No, it's airborne. Like when you get there, Also, you could get it exacerbated if you get stung by anything poisonous.
And butt stuff.
Well,
No, butt stuff is what spreads California disease.
You know what? I'll accept that answer.
I haven't got
AKA monkeypox. Fuck's sake.
Oh, by the way, that is the other thing I wanted to bring up is now the left
Wait a
is.
minute. I think I figured the riots out, Sam. They've just all had monkeypox since 2020.
So this literally is a zombie apocalypse then, just like World War Z, where it's like a virus
Only
outbreak.
It's gay as fuck, man.
Yeah, I mean,
are we happy to not have a Pride Month for once? Is it just me? And we could just have a month. And bro, I get it. There are people, it's men's mental health month. Don't do that. Can it just be fucking June? I don't need it to be a political battleground. It's just June.
yeah.
Just the beginning of summer, damn it.
You can worry about men's mental health all fucking year. I don't care. But it doesn't need to be anything month, ever. I don't want anything month, ever. How's that?
I can agree with that.
I can actually fully endorse that, and I can see the headline now. Max Sand, I don't want June to be anything ever. Sam Whitfield agrees.
Hey, Max, can we at least get a couple months at some point?
No, you could have a week.
Okay.
I'm down with weeks, but why does it have to be a month? There's only 12 of them. You can't give a month to everybody.
Because I don't want to be special, damn it.
Well, you're already crippled. Isn't that special enough?
Well, oh,
I'll allow it.
one more. You're special to me, my friend.
Right back at you, Sammy.
So,
Oh, fuck.
so, and Max is also very special to me.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's sometimes ultra
I'm
special.
not with that gay stuff, Sam.
No,
Let's just talk about not liking Pride Month.
I didn't mean it that way, Max. I bet you were my special friend, which
yeah.
which meant that you
No,
were
that I get that.
well, no, Maxie, because if you have a special friend, that means that they're retarded.
Sam,
Which
for many decades now, let me tell you a little story about history. Gay men and lesbian women have often referred to their partner as their special friend.
that is true.
I don't know too many people who referred to the retarded kid as their special friend, though.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
Unless they were fucking him. Then it could be a special friend.
Listen,
He's a special friend.
I mean, retards need sex too.
Listen, I'm glad we're all laughing because, man, I'm gonna be honest. This week, have you been paying attention to the news? It's been fucking bleak. Just like,
Oh yeah, the Beach Boys died.
oh shit. Wait, which one? They're Brian Wilson is like the only one left.
Brian Wilson? You're gonna say he's not the Beach Boys?
Oh shit! So he finally did pass.
Yeah, Brian Wilson died. Yes.
Oh, well,
I was making
shit.
the joke that you would think that, oh, Max is stupid and he doesn't know. No, Brian Wilson was the fucking Beach Boys. He wrote all their fucking songs. I mean, come on. They can't be like, if I say the Beach Boys died to anybody that's a Beach Boys fan, they'd be like, oh shit, Brian died.
Yeah.
Shout out to an absolute music legend, one of the greatest of all time.
Well,
he was 82. I'm not like, oh God. I hate when people are like, how could this have happened?
No, at 82, listen, that's a pretty good.
He had a great run. He's one of the most celebrated artists in modern musical history. He's also noted for like being one of the best composers, right? And that's kind of more of a snobby thing.
R.I.P. legend.
Yeah.
He is I mean, Pet Sounds. People like to say you're a snob if you like to break down that album, but that is a beautifully composed and beautifully engineered album as well. So.
Well, people say it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was pretty good for its time. Revolutionary.
Yeah, for its time.
Boomers say that it's the greatest album of all time, and I think that's because they're boomers.
I don't think it's
There's
the
been a
great.
lot of albums since 1960 fucking 8's Shop album, right? Give me a break. It's the greatest album ever made.
Not according to boomers.
I know. I'm sorry, boomers. Your music taste is stuck in 1968. And none of ours is. And you can't begrudge us that. We weren't fucking boomers, okay? And we like other albums. There's better albums. I literally won't even name one because every person in here is and listening is likely under 60 fucking years old and won't say that that is the greatest album of all time. They will say another album, and that's good. It's good.
That is
It was
true.
great. You got to give respect where it's due. But man, boomers are doing that thing already where it's like, I can't believe it. How could he have they did that with Gene fucking Hackman. He's in his 90s. How could this have happened? I don't know. Time is this concept that goes forward.
Honestly,
Hell, man.
honestly, like I like last year when I saw that it was Clint Eastwood's birthday. My reaction is, wait, I love Clint, but he's still alive.
Yeah, how is
Wow.
he not dead? I love you, Clint, but man.
Because it's Clint Eastwood, duh.
Yeah, but then he's gonna die, and boomers are gonna be like, I can't believe it. How did this happen?
Me, I'll just be like,
I can't believe Chuck Norris is still alive.
Oh, I can. He's like made of iron.
Facts.
that is
I
true.
met Chuck Norris when I was a kid,
When he does push-ups, he pushes the earth down.
and he was everything that the World of Warcraft Barons joke said he would be.
Facts.
Only
Yeah,
I was a kid long before any of the jokes, and I met him when I was a kid when he was like at his peak, and it was pretty. He used to go all around the country doing exhibitions, and then he would say he was friends with every sensei. You see, so my sensei was good friends with Chuck Norris.
yeah.
Not like all those other senseis that he was good best friends with that he went to and did a demonstration with. Mine was his best friend.
Clearly,
His best friend.
No, but like when I was a kid, obviously I didn't know that Chuck Norris toured all the dojos in the country basically to promote his movies and also, whatever, promote the local dojos, promote karate, which is cool of him, right?
yeah.
But they told us, oh yeah, me and your sensei known each other. We trained together. We came up together. They'd have a match at the end. Sensei won. And now only my sensei won the match. Obviously, no other sensei would have beat Chuck Norris.
Right.
Right. So, that was pretty cool though. It was pretty cool when you're a kid. Obviously, I see.
Oh yeah.
I see through the magic now, Sam, is that Chuck Norris just put over every sensei in the country. he lost to every fucking guy running a dojo.
So
Because Chuck Norris is the fucking best.
That's right. Because he'd be like, man, I've had a lot of fights, but your sensei is the toughest man I've ever stepped in a ring with. And you're like,
yeah.
whoa, my sensei beat Chuck Norris. They worked me. They worked.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Well-
It worked. It worked because that was cool.
Well, as every good actor does. So
Actor. The fuck you talking about?
yeah, you didn't know this? Chuck Norris is an actor. But,
No, he's been in documentaries.
well, true.
You're gonna tell me Walker,
You
Texas
broke
Ranger
Mack's
isn't
heart,
real?
Sam.
Oh no, well, Delta Force is my favorite documentary, Max.
Okay. Walker, Texas Ranger is obviously a documentary.
Yeah.
Don't say yeah, Sam. What the fuck? Don't work against me, bro.
Next thing he's gonna tell me Blood Sport's not a documentary.
Well, we'll get
Look,
back
Sam,
to that.
you can fool a lot of people, but you're not gonna pull this one over on me. I know the Walker Texas Ranger was the cover story that they gave him for filming the documentary, because if they knew he was Chuck Norris, he couldn't have gotten close to the cartel, Sam.
Well, that's
Ow.
true.
I got hit with a little piggy.
Speaking of true things, though, we have another sponsor, and this segment of the program is brought to you by our friends at 1775 Coffee. So, tried 1775 Coffee? Now is your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, and there are only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth, medium roast, and the vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip, because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler that says, "I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch." Nice. $170 worth of coffee and gear is yours for just $99. This is for the ones who have been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Also makes a great Father's Day present as well.
Well, you can't go wrong with coffee unless Dad doesn't drink coffee. In which case, then you'd go wrong. But if he does drink coffee,
in that case, wouldn't you go with the mushroom coffee? Is it something different?
not for me, it would kill me.
Yeah, no, that might be that wouldn't be a good
Motherfuckers
idea.
will be like, you should try Ric Flair's energy drink. I'm like, it's made of mushrooms. That would be suicide. That's what that would be.
Yeah.
If ever I wanted a live fucking suicide on air, I could just drink a Ric Flair energy drink. That'd be real easy, because it would fucking make my throat close, because I'm allergic to mushrooms. So yeah, I don't do mushroom anything. I don't understand the appeal of fungus. I'm allergic to it. Also, it just sounds bad, doesn't it? Fungus
Coffee, yeah, no.
That is true. However, I have heard, especially from Maxine, that you are a fun guy. Haha.
God damn it. I was trying not to laugh as long as possible, and then he's got that fucking grin. You bastard.
The grin will not be denied.
It won't. You try and straight face him, and he just gets a little bigger smile, and you're like, you motherfucker.
Even I amused myself with that one. So see, we're still joking and having fun despite all the.
I have a sneaking suspicion you amuse yourself a lot, Sam.
You have a sneaking suspicion I what more?
You amuse yourself a lot.
He's saying you jerk off a lot.
Well,
I was not saying that, but I was more implying trying to be funny and amusing himself, trying to be funny.
I know.
I do laugh at my own jokes. So,
but then I hit at the elephant of the conversation, because that's what I do. More, it's like, wait, I wasn't actually saying that directly.
I'm pretty blatant when I am doing that.
I know.
So
I'm just glad I got you with the special one earlier. That laugh was genuine. I'll treasure that one.
Yeah, it was genuine. I don't let that happen very often, but it was.
Because you
well,
guys
I
have heard every cripple joke ever, so it takes a lot. I know, I've tried.
I mean, listen, from you, the "I hope you're sitting down" joke will be pretty funny, actually.
I'm always sitting down.
It's not even going to be, I hope. I'm just going to be like, are you sitting down?
Yes.
You're going to be like, yes. I'm gonna be like, all right, stand up. Got something important to tell you. You're going to want to be standing up for this. Fuck you.
Honestly, I was so excited. I was so excited when Trump won the election, though. I almost did stand up.
Well, that's why Madison Cawthorn's like the alpha cripple, because he did stand up for Trump.
Okay,
But did he fall down afterwards?
but
Oh man, he fell down hard. There was all them weird texts about his cousins and shit. He fell hard, but not on stage. Just later.
That is
on stage would have been funnier.
that is pretty funny though. Yeah, because he did fall hard.
He fell. Yeah, he fell. Oh man, did he fall? Just not in the literal sense.
Yeah.
I root for him though, because if anybody can get up again, it's a cripple.
We're good at getting up.
Yeah.
Right. Put more thought into it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So we've sold coffee and premiums and watched violent hands exploding and death and mayhem, misfortune and terror. It's been fun. Been
Yeah.
fun.
It
Nice time.
has been fun.
Okay, let me
so-
ask you this. What is the fattest protester you've seen? 'Cause for me, it was actually one of the journalists. Last night, they were having a conversation towards the end of the night about how hard it was to walk around LA and then stand still, and then walk and then stand still. And when they were having the conversation, they were like body camming, so you couldn't see them. And I turned to my wife and I said, these guys are fat as fuck. I wish I could see what they look like. Just a few minutes later, he turns his camera around and I'm like, oh my God, he's fatter than I thought. So, advice to journalists, rioters, protesters, LARPers, Civil War enthusiasts, all you people. Get your cardio up. Bro, if you can't run a mile, nobody, like...
I have to imagine, looking at people like that for you is like, well, thank God I got in shape. So...
Even when I was not in good shape, Sam, as fat as I might have been, I could go like 10, 15 miles easily.
Right.
These people are winded after like a brisk walk, and they think they're the revolution too. You know what I mean? They're like the spirit of 1776 in this motherfucker after they catch their breath. Fuck's sake, you walked 5 feet. What a hero.
So these riders are all skinny, limp-wristed twinks, and then just fat dudes and fat chicks.
Yeah,
basically.
well, there's a lot of skinny chicks too. There's a lot of Karens of all varieties. They're all around the same age, though. College age to their mid-30s.
Yeah, so here's one thing that I've always found fascinating about riots just in general is the looting, because like what is looting a store and whatnot? Like what does that have to do with like, you know,
That's
Inflation.
free shit.
or yeah. Yeah, what does any of that have to do with like social justice, right?
It
If we're
doesn't.
going
It just doesn't. It's not even a fucking, like, it shouldn't even be a question. You
right.
could argue if you're on the left and you were being, even remotely like intellectually honest about this, the first thing you could say is obviously there's an opportunist element to it, right? People know that the cops are preoccupied so they can have a more organized loot event, and they know they're more likely to get away with it. So that's one factor. But the problem is that they'll try and fuse it with the cause, right? Instead of, this is the left's problem. This is the Hassan Piker problem I was talking about on the previous show. The problem is they won't denounce their extremist behaviors. They just won't.
Facts.
You won't get them to do it. It's part of their culture. You're not allowed to do it.
And speaking of Hassan,
They refuse to do it, but demand the right does it.
right.
Because that works, because the right does cuck itself before them all the time still. Yeah. Like having this conversation, like we have to pretend like there's no like even kind of your framing when you were like, well, the innocent, well-meaning illegal, right? Because that's because we can't talk about, yes, they have a negative impact on people. Yes, people like me have lost jobs directly to them. Yes, housing prices are through the roof because of them. It doesn't matter if they're just a guy working at a fucking construction site, right? They are affected. Their kids are in our schools. That's
Yeah.
our tax money. They drive on our roads. They're using our services with fraudulent paperwork. Like, yeah, there are negative consequences to the general public, and I'm sick and tired of them trying to emotion that away by saying, but won't somebody think of the poor children? What about my child? Nobody seems to care about the American children.
No, nope. Well, these motherfuckers sure don't. They're out there kidnapping, children out of cars for God's sake.
That's right. She dared bring attention to the fact, and people immediately defending it by saying, "Oh, why did she have her children there?" She's probably just driving home. That's the other
Yeah.
thing people don't get. You get caught in these protests. You don't go there on purpose most of the time.
Yeah.
It happens. You're driving. You're taking your normal route home. Maybe the babysitter took an extra 5 minutes. You're running just a little bit late. God damn it. Now you're fucking your car is surrounded by angry people that have nothing to do with you, and the cause that they're on about don't have nothing to do with you either, but you're on their mercy now. And that's the country that Gavin Newsom wants us to live in. That's the country that Karen Bass wants us to live in. Is that the country you want to live in, dear audience?
Fuck
no.
no. Like I said, this is all great for for Gavin's. I hope people are archiving this stuff
For
because
2028. Fuck Gavin.
because when Gavin immediately runs for president, and he probably will, I hope whoever the nominee is for the Republicans pull basically like shows this footage and asks him to explain himself.
I 100% agree. Now, here, I'm going to explain why I hate that take. Because the people that are dealing with it right now could give a fuck less about that.
Right.
The people whose homes are being lit on fire, whose businesses are being looted, the people who you saw blown up, lit on fire, attacked, assaulted. These people are suffering right now, and I'm sure a presidential race in 4 years is the last thing on their mind. And that's who my concern is with. When I mentioned earlier, Sam, the material conditions. Well, what's the material conditions of the average American citizen in LA right now ain't very good, to the point that why would I expect them to care about an election 4 years away? They'll listen to you talk about that in 4 years. Right now, they got problems.
I wouldn't expect them to care about either.
I'm not saying it's a bad take. I'm just saying, like, my main thing is this needs to stop. These people have to be able to live their life, or what country do we even have? We don't have a civilized country.
Yeah.
And it
I
needs
mean,
to be, and I hate to be the guy, but it needs to be stopped the same way it got stopped all the other times, is at the end of a fucking billy club or a rifle.
I mean, if I were in California right now, I'd be pissed at Newsom, and like I'd be calling for his resignation from office right now.
Yeah.
But
I would call for all of them to resign. And
yeah,
frankly, though, if I'm the police, like people might think I'm a little hard on the LAPD specifically, but if you're under order to stand there while your city's torn down, and you're still going to collect your check, and you're still going to just stand there and let it happen and not enforce the law and not do anything, then you should resign.
I agree.
You should resign. If you can't enforce the law, if you feel that the system is making it impossible for you to enforce the law as an LAPD officer, you should resign and protest. That's hard, though. People, again, the material conditions, Sam, those are people. That's their job. That pays their mortgage. That puts food on their table. So I understand.
right.
But we're just following orders.
And so bringing in the National Guard, all they can do is protect federal buildings, essentially. All the Marines can do is organize, coordinate supply chains and things. They're not going to put hands on nobody. So the LAPD is still being told to stand down. So we're not going to see this calm down, and it's not going to burn itself out. Quite frankly, I know for a fact, because I watch the activist channels that stream. I've been watching quite a few of what they're talking about. They plan that Saturday is going to be their big day. All this shit you've been seeing since last Saturday is just filler. Those are just the people that are out every day. The people who don't come out every day plan to come out Saturday.
Oof.
I'm sure that the Department of Homeland Security is aware of this. I'm sure the Trump administration has heard at least whispers of it. I'm sure the LAPD knows this. I'm sure Gavin Newsom knows this. Will anybody stop the violence that is certain to unfold in LA, especially this weekend? Well, I guess we'll just have to tune in to find out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's really all we can do. I know that Trump is trying.
Again, well, if the police are under order to not do anything, and he's not going to invoke the Insurrection Act, then it's kind of at a standstill in that regard.
Well, maybe he ought to invoke the Insurrection Act.
I mean, it's not unprecedented. Not even
do it
close.
in 2020.
So obviously that's sort of what the left wants to a degree. Like they like the martyr status and all that. They want to be, but that's why a lot of people will say don't do it. Here's the thing. That ain't gonna work no more. Nobody cares about their martyr status no more. People are just sick of their bullshit. People are sick of all the bullshit.
Yeah, and also Trump's not up for re-election, so he doesn't, so he kind of has like carte blanche at this point.
Right, but Republicans are gonna oppose him doing anything.
Of course they will.
Yeah, and so right now, it all depends on the tune of the mayor and the governor, or if Trump actually just wants to send active duty troops to keep the peace on the streets. Those are the only options. Or we're going to just continue with this cycle of every night like it was in Seattle, only it's going to be way worse. Especially this Saturday. This Saturday, if you're in LA, I would leave.
Agreed.
I would. I mean, if you can, I would maybe even get out of the state. So, although depending on where you go, like it might not be much better. Like I've heard that Chicago,
Some of the instances in my top 10 list were Chicago, by the way.
not surprised.
At least one of them was. I just don't remember which one off the top. Yeah, Chicago had a lot of street violence. The thing about LA too, why it will get more coverage even if the other towns are a little crazier or equally as crazy, is that LA runs the most eye in the sky choppers of any city.
Right.
So there's usually a constant feed of a traffic chopper just kind of zooming in on shit. And of course, if there's like shit going down, you can just kind of watch that feed. That's what I've been running a lot of. Or on the ground guys, and just follow them for a while.
Why would I would also imagine the LA. I mean, I don't know how much this this would affect things, but I would imagine that like clearly there would be some interest just because like LA has, precedents for this types of thing too, with like the Rodney King riots and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, we'll see.
which by the way, I'm not saying that the riots were justified then, but I feel like the anger over Rodney King was more justified perhaps maybe than
Well, no,
ICE.
like we're supposed to take the most empathetic position possible is, I guess, unlimited immigration, and that's what they're rioting for, right? I'm always going to empathize more with the cause of an American citizen like Rodney King, who was wrongfully abused by police.
Yeah, facts.
Because of the color of his fucking skin,
Absolutely.
then I give a fuck about any illegal.
Right. That's what I'm saying, Max. Like I feel like the Rodney King thing was like the violence wasn't justified maybe, but like the cause outrage was more justified than
Right. The
basically.
real violence came from the OJ verdict, which is like a whole different fucking can of worms. When they called in the Marines, it was the OJ verdict. Yeah.
Well, shoot, I was gonna try and do a Norm Macdonald impression. Well, he shouldn't have cut that guy's head off.
That's fine. They just add all that to his victim toll.
Yeah.
Half of LA. Nah, it's terrible whenever it happens. There is something fascinating about watching it. And I'll tell you, on a night-to-night basis, you do get a little bit of cathartic, like, cop beating a hippie head in here and there. So that's cool. But the overall vibe is that they're going to be allowed to do this until the cops are allowed to show some testicles. And if you're a cop that feels that you're being not allowed to do your job, it just seems like if you stand there taking your check at a certain point, you're not on either side. You're the enemy of both.
Ain't that the truth?
It's tough because I try to be pro-police, but in the case of LAPD right now, it's testing my patience that they're watching assaults They're watching attempted murders right in front of them and doing nothing. I've witnessed it many times last night alone. The other night was worse. The other night that I wasn't streaming was one I should have been streaming because I saw all kinds of fucking crazy shit. I'll probably throw up some kind of like feed tonight too.
Yeah. And speaking of the truth, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a great place for online news, discussion, and entertainment, including on the riots, then check out True Social, Donald Trump's social media website.
I hear the president posts on there.
He does. You'll get breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. And if you want to see Trump's legendary True Social post, and who doesn't, then get on True Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join True Social. And that is basically all the ads for the show.
Damn, son.
So yeah.
Killing machine.
We had 3 ads tonight, and we're not even at the 2-hour mark. Speaking of promoting stuff, and speaking of people who can quell riots, this man, Jason Miller, has a lot to say about,
Speaking of somebody not a friend of the cartels.
Right. Speaking of someone who's not a friend of, riding a scumfucks either, for a potential upcoming story. Night of the Vigilante follows his story, and as we've said on the show before, if you buy this book, you will gain infinitely more testosterone
and IQ points. I already went through this. Is that you get IQ points 5 every time you read it, and so if you reread it, you get more. But I actually fed copies of it to an AI who reads it to me, and my IQ has been increasing exponentially ever since I started this process.
Well, maybe Gavin Newsom should read this book and he'll stop being so fucking retarded then. Maybe not, though.
But you don't understand exponentiality. You see, he can't get an infinite increase in IQ score if the starting value is 0. It's the one exception.
That is true. So,
because anything times 0 is 0.
Yeah.
Sorry for Gavin, but everybody else, you get a larger brain, a bigger dick, more attractive to ladies, and just a sense of self-confidence if they pick up this book. Yeah. Our research has indicated that all to be true and totally not made up.
Yeah, maybe we should like, just airdrop this in Los Angeles for the, normies who, because then they can, fight back against Antifa. By the way,
they can become an unstoppable cartel killing machine.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure some of them would certainly like to now. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but in one of the feeds I watched the other night, Max, I saw that there was it looked to be like a locally owned Mexican restaurant that was like, providing water to basically the National Guard, and
that's cool.
All the protesters were screaming racial epithets about towards them, and
to be just a quick note, they were a Salvadoran restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And that's the thing. Like I was mentioning with the Luchador AAA event in town the same day, there was plenty. Like the Hispanic community is not a fucking monolith, and I'm sick and tired of the Democrats telling us it is. A majority of Hispanics voted for Trump.
Oh yeah.
So, like, this idea that they're all on board with these fucking demonstrations, that's just dumb. And anybody claiming you to be racist because you support the president's platform at this point, I get that that's their argument, but just remember that he won the popular vote, all the swing states. Like, you're not in a minority.
My my friend Jose, when I was in college, he was the one who convinced me back in 2016, who made the case as a complete normie as to why he was going to vote for Trump. And it was because he was, Trump's a businessman, and also because Jose was sick of the status quo at the time. And he said that even Bernie, in his mind, was part of the status quo. So, yeah.
Well, there's another layer where the Hispanic community in Florida does not resemble the Hispanic community in California. Does not resemble the Hispanic community up here. Right? And even within those communities are multiple variations. They are not a monolith. Cubans and Mexicans and Venezuelans are not the same.
No.
It's funny that these liberals think they are.
Because the liberals are fucking racist.
They're all interchangeable, Sam. Didn't you know that?
Yeah.
I find the funniest part is how many of them do not know that Puerto Rico is part of America. And that Puerto Rican means you're an American.
Yeah, that is the funny thing.
Shout out to all my fucking Puerto Rican peoples, because, like, yeah, I've known that since I was a kid, bro. Like, that's the dumbest shit. It happened even around here, and here, like, that's the primary Hispanic demographic is Puerto Rican in the Northeast, right? They think they're they think they're Mexican or something, or that they're not legal, and I'm like, how could you be an illegal Puerto Rican? That doesn't even make sense. That's U.S. soil, bro.
Yep.
That is. I shouldn't laugh, but the idea of like a Puerto Rican protesting for illegal immigration is kind of, it's messed up, but it is kind of funny, like from a comedic.
Yeah. I mean, I know quite a few, and none of them are on. Now, this is just anecdotal, right? But none of them are on that side of the issue.
Yeah.
Don't know any Puerto Ricans who are like, yes, let all the illegals in. I don't personally know one that thinks that, actually.
Nor do I.
Not a lot of Cubans think that either.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know one single Cuban. I do know of like. I do know of like one friend whose cousin is like a third or fourth generation American, and I guess she was starting to like spout some stuff, and Abuela gave her a good paddling, and now she's no longer
well, that's another thing. Like in the Cuban family, commie talk would actually get you in trouble with your family.
Yes.
Right? Like, because there will be an older person in your family that will be like, wait, the young girl's got the blue hair, huh? Is she doing the commie talk too? Oh, we don't like that commie talk. I've
seen that happen. I've seen that happen in real time.
Don't throw their shoe at you. It's true.
I once witnessed.
That's true of both the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, by the way. Yeah. You get them women mad enough, they will throw their fucking shoe at you.
I once witnessed a friend's grandmother
It don't
tell
even fucking
him.
hurt, man, but it's a shoe. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
I once witnessed a friend's grandmother tell him to drop this one history professor's course because the professor was like spouting commie BS, and it wasn't so much like a hey, you should drop this professor's course. It was like no, you will drop this professor's course. And it was during the ad drop, period, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But even so, it was funny. It wasn't a suggestion. When a boy tells you to do something, you do it.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Well, that's not good commie talk, Sam, because fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, but isn't it amazing how the commies are basically doing whatever the ringleader tells them to do?
I'm telling you, man, just start locking them up. We got to lock lots of them up. It's going to be tremendous. We're going to lock them in a great facility. They're all going to be the Antifas. We'll put all the Antifas together. They'll love each other. It'll be peace and love all day, every day. Nothing but peace and love, because that's what those people are all about, is peace.
Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, if they're for peace, then I'm a triathlete.
If they're for peace, I'm a fucking virgin.
Exactly.
It's very peaceful. Look, Sam. I understand it's tough to grasp the abstract concept at play here, but let me explain to you. When they throw an explosive device at an underprivileged black man's car and blow it up, thus causing the car engine to explode and blow up his hand, this is the ultimate expression of empathy. See, Sam, what you don't have, like all these right wingers, we just don't have any fucking empathy.
Okay, iDubbbz.
You got to unlock your empathy meter so that you can understand how exploding a black man's fucking hand and then refusing to help him get any treatment for it and calling him a snitch N-word is actually an expression of love.
Okay,
That's what CNN told me. I don't know.
Okay, but how though would be my follow-up.
I feel like it's the
Question.
kind of love that you could express like it's like the same as like prison love, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
The kind of love they force on you, you know.
so it's the same way that a man will sometimes aggressively force his love onto a woman, right? It's just like that, right?
Well, yeah, but only on the man in his butt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but what?
Because it's California.
Yeah,
Oh, boy, exactly. It's called a California.
these same like Antifa types are the same type that would be like that say hey, the purge is actually a really great idea. Which if you don't know what that is, Max, that's like a really dumb like horror movie where the concept is
How
that like
dare you, Sam? I'll have you know I am the head of the fucking Purge fan club and seen every film 15 times and could recite them.
I've never even seen The Purge, but I know the thing.
No. I actually wrote the the Purge wiki?
I can't tell if you're being serious or just.
Think about it.
Nah, I'm never not being serious.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Deadly serious.
But yeah, no, these
Look, we hired a team. Okay, our crack team of offenseologists show me the way. I act completely on their research and development, Sam. It's been a trying process. We needed to find like the most offensive people we could who not only are offensive, but understand why they are offensive, what's offensive and what's not, and can distill it into some bit of information that I am then supposed to portray to the audience. And so the thing they gave me this week that they said to impress upon everybody is that if you don't think that these riots are completely peaceful, you are totally a hateful bigot racist, and that's why.
yes, I am.
Right.
You know what?
That's what they told me to say. So that comes straight from our science team. Is that if you don't believe that these protests are completely peaceful, if you question that, it's actually just because, not because there's anything wrong with that. That's obviously true. It's because you are an evil, horrible, racist Nazi. And you need to come to terms with that. And let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been screaming Nazi at us for so long that, like, honestly, when they say that, my honest reaction is just to shrug my shoulders.
Well, sure, but the normies now are getting called racist, hateful
Right.
Nazis, and it's often the first time for them. And so they need to decide, are those people right? And that these are peaceful protests and you're a Nazi? Or, and this is a crazy part, I know, are they maybe not peaceful and you're not a Nazi? And that maybe we should put criminals in jail?
I mean,
one or the other. It can't be both.
I mean, option B is, looking pretty good now.
There's a great jail. It's in El Salvador. Tremendous jail. Full of the best. They got the best.
Ooh, yeah.
Tremendous. They give it 5 stars. It's a wonderful jail. We're going to send all of them there. Just send all the Karens. Can we just send all the Karens to El Salvador?
Yes.
Oh my God! How long do you think the Karens would last in El Salvador before they were complaining?
Doesn't
Probably not.
matter. Doesn't
hour.
matter because no takesies backsies.
Oh my God! It's too humid here. I'd like to see the manager. Well, too bad, bitch.
The manager's name is Manuel.
And he
And
doesn't speak
he likes to beat up women.
and no hablo inglés.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand English, but he does understand how to sell you into a human trafficking network.
See,
Yeah.
I got $50 for that bitch. You would be amazed at how little human trafficking victims go for, Sam.
Less than $1 in some cases.
Well, yeah, there's some times where there's favors involved, but oftentimes it's tens of dollars.
Yeah, no, I talked to I once met a human trafficking victim who said that like her mother like basically trafficked her for like a 6-pack of beer or something like that.
Yeah, well, these networks, they're in it for money, the
Yeah.
cartels and stuff. So like they get money, but I'm saying like they're selling some of these young women and even children into sex slavery for like 40 American dollars. You know, and we should let all of them in infinitely. They're all wonderful people. You're a bad person for thinking that we shouldn't let them in. Did you know, Sam, that 95% of women that cross the border get raped?
Yeah, yes, I did know that. Steve Stratton actually brought that specific statistic up, and yeah, so again, going back to the point, like, yeah, you can talk up, the well-meaning illegals all you want, but the fact of the matter is they're no but a lot oftentimes like they're no better off here than they were in Mexico. Some cases worse, actually.
Yeah, unless they want to gangbang, in which case they get a free pass from the police. Don't they get to live in the shelters that other people, like those so-called well-meaning people? Guess who's harmed by the criminal illegals the most?
Them.
Yeah, those other illegals, the women and the children that have to live in these shelters that are taken over by these fucking gangs. What do you think happens in the fucking shelter to those women and children, Sam? Where
Sick
do you
to
think they get trafficking victims from?
sick depraved stuff that I don't even want to,
Yeah. Yeah, but no, bring them in unlimitedly. And if you fucking complain, you're just a racist. It's not because you care about the consequences. It's not because there are consequences. How could there be consequences? You eat tacos, don't you, Sam?
well, it's not like I've had, former law enforcement on to talk about this shit or anything like that, and even if I did, who are they, Bax? They've just been they were just doing this, for 30 years.
I said
So
the same thing about the fucking terror attacks over the past couple weeks. And I'd say the same thing about previous attacks and previous riots. I've always had the same position, is that if we want to live in a fucking society of any kind, and I know that's bottom text, meme, joker, haha, society, but we do. We live in a civilized society, or we try to. But if we're not going to prosecute violent fucking criminals and thieves, then we don't. That's it. It's over. Pack it up. Call it a fucking day.
I don't know you, Max, but I like society.
Yeah, me too. I
Me
like the
too.
idea that there's an unwritten rule that if we all go out in public, nobody's going to shoot each other.
Call me crazy, Max. I know there are people who love to be blackpilled about everything, but I quite like, you know, going out and meeting people in public and having a civil, conversation with them. Even if I disagree with them, and isn't that it doesn't have to be over something political. It can be about anything.
Yeah, I don't even talk to politics with most people. They
Me
bring it up
either.
around me. People bring it up to me. You know what I mean? Like
Same.
I get that out on this show and such, right? Like that's the thing. If you're doing content about it, it's probably not something you talk about nonstop with people you meet on the streets, right? Because it's part of like a work thing.
Right.
So yeah, I don't talk about, I listen when people talk about politics. That's for the same reason. It's almost like a work thing, right? It's like knowing what they're saying. It's kind of valuable information. But I mean, I listened enough to people to know that in the past 6 months, I've only actually heard one person in real life complaining about Trump. One. In Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Just one. And it was actually the other day at the store. And it was a black woman. And she was clearly not from here. She had a southern accent. And she was on the phone yelling about how Trump supporters make excuses for everything he does. And I just kind of ignored her having her phone conversation and walked on. And that's the only negative Trump thing I've heard since the election.
Well, I mean, Well, I mean, she's not wrong. We do make excuses for everything that he does because everything that he does is pretty fucking awesome
Well, I
so
like this,
far.
Sam. There's been a meme going around of like, this is what I voted for. Yes, say that. That's good. Say that because everybody's trying to weasel out of their accusations of you being a bad person. That's
Yeah.
the last 10 years of politics, right? You're a bad person. I'm
No,
not a bad person because here's some facts over your feelings. You're a bad person. Well, actually, I'm not a bad person. You're really the bad person. No, let's just stop with that fucking shit. We're not even going to entertain accusations that you're a bad person because you voted to enforce immigration law. If that's what they want to say at you, that's fine. But we're not listening to it. We're not internalizing it. We're not spread that message. You say right back to them, yeah, that's what I voted for. They
Yep.
have to go back.
yeah. I always love is this what you voted for, Trump? You know, Trumpers. It's
yes, it
like
is.
it's like yes, and I would do.
I voted for my country to have a border, just like every other fucking country that we fucking defend all the goddamn time is allowed to have their fucking border. We're gonna have a goddamn border.
Let me take it to the next level. Is the border stuff what you voted for? Yes. Would we want them getting more out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So it's already more extreme than what's going on. That is our base level. How about this one? Would you be okay with them using police force to put down people who are engaged in violent riot activity?
Yes.
Yes.
You would vote for that, yeah?
See,
Yeah, I mean,
I just want them to understand where people are coming from. Because they're saying that having those opinions makes you bad. And the one thing I want people to have is the equipment needed to not even deal with that shit. No, you're
yeah,
not fucking bad.
yeah. Well, I mean, the last I checked, ICE isn't setting cars on fire and then like or blowing people's hands off.
Well, it's also like people have this like Ben Shapiro ass mindset of how to respond to being emotionally manipulated, right? It's like, I have to tell you about all my. You're not going to convince them.
fuck Shapiro.
No, yeah, no,
It's not just
that
Shapiro, though. It's like the whole right has his mentality where it's like, they say you're a bad person for believing in immigration enforcement. And you'll be like, well, did you know about that? Like even I have to cite my statistics and we have to talk about how nah, no more of that shit. Don't even bother there because you're trying to win an argument with somebody who knows what your argument is and is
And
just
doesn't
trying to
care.
smear you.
yeah, no,
Yes.
that's I've actually like left the room, um, because like sometimes Max, all this doesn't happen very often, but sometimes
And
like
walked out again.
but sometimes rarely I will be in an occasion where I'm surrounded by just extreme TDS people, and they'll bring up all the things, right? And so I'll just leave because I know I'm never going to be able to win against them, right? And so I'm not.
Because they're not after logic.
Yeah, and
They're after fucking feelings.
yeah, and listen, I may be crippled, but I'm not going to grovel on the ground and prostrate myself, before these fuckers. I'll just as soon roll out of the room or roll out of the house and call a fucking Uber or something.
I'm crippled. My feelings are no more. People have abused them.
Well, that's the thing is like, we've gotten used to a little bit of that. It's like I say, it is a bit Ben Shapiro where I have to respond to your emotional argument with facts. And that's fine. If you're talking to somebody who's undecided or somebody that his mind can be changed, that's useful. But if you're doing it with these people that are just being emotionally manipulative, you're wasting your fucking breath and
Yeah,
you keep digging yourself deeper.
right. In 21-year-old me used to, do that when I was like when I was still super, you know, involved, even more so than I am now in politics. But by 23, I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? I'm just wasting my breath. And so I just stopped engaging with them, honestly. And you know,
Because you're an old man, Sam.
well, no, I've just matured a lot more.
It's just funny to hear. Here it's like, well, I was 21, but then I was 23. I figured it all out. Yeah.
I learned I learned. So.
No, but it is a thing though of a lot of people need to learn. The best thing you could do is not engage that kind of argument. And then the other thing is don't be afraid to say what you know to be true out loud.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not a woman. You're a dude. It's okay to say that out loud. It's literally okay. No one's gonna murder you if you call a tranny a dude. No, it's not gonna happen. Now the tranny might get mad. You might have to defend yourself from a tranny, but I mean, if you're a guy, it's kind of a fair fight, right? So that's fine. But you don't have to. Young guys especially. See, I've heard a couple stories lately that got me unnerved, Sam. And so I'm going to speak to those guys specifically and their experience. Is like you don't have to wait until she pulls the lady penis out, right, and says start to sucking to say, hey, I think you might.
He got rumbled.
Perfect timing too.
We've made this point before, but it literally just happened. We get fucking rolling on a fucking rant, and we get rumbled.
Rumble might be pro-trans though too, because the timing of that was like awfully suspicious.
That was fucking perfect. That was CNN timing. That was YouTube timing.
Maybe, you know, maybe Rumble is getting subverted by the left. I
And
don't.
that's how trans babies are made. Did you catch that?
Nope.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
But by doing it in the butt?
Well, there's more to it than that, but yeah.
Well,
you see when a trans man loves a trans woman. They sing, you make me feel like a natural woman. Anyway, Sam, what else is going on tonight?
Well, we're just here cracking jokes as LA burns, so you know, the
It could be worse. It could be the Lakers, am I right? There's gonna be one sports guy that gets really mad about that joke.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they were any good this year or not because I don't watch fucking basketball at all. But some guy's gonna be like, I fucking Lakers are the fucking best team of all time.
You know, I will say this regarding the protests. I haven't seen people in Los Angeles this mad since the Raiders lost to the Broncos. So that's a football reference. Nah.
Oh, I thought it was a reference to the last time that happened, which was like 1985.
Yeah.
Also, the Raiders are in the LA. That's why I looked at you funny.
Yeah.
They're in
No.
Las Vegas.
Well, that is true.
To be fair, you look at Sam funny all the time, Max.
That's true, but he is very funny.
Well, thank you. Yeah, yes, I know I am. I realized I couldn't make the Oakland joke anymore, since they're not in Oakland anymore. So,
So your joke kind of burned down as if it was L.A.
Exactly.
Slowly, painfully, drawn out.
Not as
terrible.
not
Oh, it
as-
was awful. It was atrocious. It's terrible.
not as violent though. Surprisingly.
This is a little violent. I was looking at you like, oh man, that hurt.
Well,
I have not seen somebody bomb that bad since Israel looks like about to do to Iran.
Well, I mean, in real, I mean, LA is burning, so why not the whole world, right?
Hey, I found one attack, a terrorist-y-ish adjacent attack. The Hassan Piker wouldn't support.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Israel striking Iran.
Well, I mean, that's
It would be a little terroristy, and Hassan wouldn't support it because they're Jewish.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So he is selectively anti-terroristic then. Gotcha.
Well, no, he's just unselectively anti-Semitic. It's different.
Yeah.
He only supports the terrorism because of how much he hates Jews. Sam, get with it.
I've been with it ever since you informed me. I have watched some of Nux's videos on him, and yeah, that Hassan guy is something else. Nux is great. Oh, if we want to talk about people who are major crybabies, Max, did you hear that Greta Thunberg got kidnapped for a whole?
Oh no! Do not say kidnapped, Sam. She got taken into fucking custody for doing a stupid thing, and they gave her sandwiches and sent her home. And they said, "Thanks for the fucking 4 pounds of food, you dumb bitch."
Yeah, well, as I was gonna say, she got so she got detained for like 36 hours.
She was taken into custody, and it was only 36 hours because they had to fucking clean up and take her somewhere safe. They're gonna let them go, by the way. They were going to let them get in. They decided to go home instead. Isn't that weird? Almost like the whole point was to get arrested and take a photo op.
Huh. Geez, you don't say.
They were like, Greta, you want to go in there and get raped? That's on you, girl. The fuck did she think's gonna happen if she goes to Gaza, Sam? The autistic girl, the autistic, dumb, rich, white girl. What do you think?
Well, I mean, to be fair, she is.
Well,
to be fair, she is literally retarded, so I don't know what she thought.
Well, see, it's good now that the Muslims control France. You could say that they're going to give her a traditional Muslim maneuver called an Eiffel Tower.
Oh.
I know. There's like 4 parts to that joke the more you think about it. Don't worry about it.
Now I'm gonna be thinking all those parts.
Oh. It's one on one side, one on the other, and they high five over her. That's the Eiffel Tower.
Fuck you.
No, Max. No, Maxie. Don't discourage them. Don't discourage him. That was very insightful commentary.
Yeah, that's right.
Men are pigs.
Yes.
Well, they're Muslim, so are they even men?
Oh my god. I'm talking about y'all.
Well, I do like bacon.
Oh dear lord.
It's
No.
I saw a Seinfeld meme that I wish I had bookmarked because I would show it to you. It made me I could explain it, but it would be funny just to show out to you. But yeah. Anyway,
You weren't prepared. Sorry.
I didn't think I was gonna show on air, but no, I actually
Right, and you should have. From
I
now on, I want you to have a folder. Every meme you look at, categorize, date, time, your reaction.
I mean, lately, if we were to go through my meme folder, I've been getting a lot of I've been getting a lot of memes about PhD stuff, which I don't know. I actually don't know why, but it is hilarious. And so I'll send them to Craig, and I'll be just like, "Is this true?" And a lot of them are true, actually. The PhD memes. So, but
You're like, oh my god, you must drive him nuts. You're like, hey Craig, I don't know anything about coding. Explain this coding meme to me. Oh my god, you're such a troll. He does? He does this?
Sometimes it's fun being a troll.
Sometimes.
Wow. Craig, well, I said he had a PhD. He can't out-fart me famously, but man, you got a PhD and you're getting trolled by Sam over here. He's like, explain the coding jokes to me. You're smart. That's good. I like that. Keep it going.
Well, hey, people keep telling me to surround I need to surround myself with smart people. And so, what am I to do?
You immediately failed. You hired me. God.
Then you hired me.
Well, that's a bit of a redemption arc, but it still got me here. Where's the smart people? They're on the Monday show.
Well, I mean, Maxine is like right next to you. So,
Okay. Yeah, and what do I know? And he's muted. Oh man.
Thanks, Rumble. No.
Can't rate this shit.
All right, so Robo's gotten Max and Sam. Now they got to get me.
That's right. And it'll be the funniest of the three if history dictates.
Well, and according to Shmuley, God favors the funny.
Yeah, so what am I supposed to know?
Well, no, you were saying that I hired you, so clear that was a fail.
Yeah.
Morris said that that I brought him on, so that was kind of a redemption arc. you said that you were dumb, and my thing was maybe, but Maxine
Good
is
start.
a genius, so
So he was sucking up to my wife because she throws things. You didn't say
Well,
genius the first time. He's
well,
moving up.
because Rumble cut me off as I was about
Oh.
to say that.
That's what it was.
Yes, that actually is what it was. So
It's a good thing Rumble cut me off because I was talking something about trannies and I didn't even know what the punchline was. But then when Rumble ate it, I was like, great.
and that was the
That got me out of it.
and I made a joke. Well, I guess maybe Rumble does support trans then if they're zapping Max. So
Hey, Sam. The next time something just happens to fall on you or just slightly misses you, just know that's me.
so you
She's
are
throwing things at you in spirit.
so you are Carrie confirmed then.
You walked right into that
Bitch, I'm gonna get you for that.
She walked right into it.
Oh.
I better be careful though, because I'm gonna get lit on fire.
You just might.
Because she's done that before. We've talked about this. She's definitely lit people on fire.
Well, Max, you might
But
have
has she lit you on fire?
She has not lit me on fire intentionally. She has lit people on fire intentionally.
Well, Maxie, you gotta get creative. You gotta get a little more creative now. I mean, now like blowing people's hands off is the latest craze.
Too soon, dude.
Craze apparently.
Too soon, bro. Too
Yeah,
soon.
man. I can't wait till that bro gets better. He throw the nubs up.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I hope that guy. Recovers. I would honestly love for him to get like not like prosthetics, but like I guess like one of those robotic hands, just so that he could flip the bird to these thugs.
Well, it sucks, man. I did see a funny thing that happened today is the looters that you saw in my video at the Apple store. Apple deactivated all the phones.
Yeah.
And then set alarms off on all of them, which made it really easy to trace down the fucking thieves. Yeah. There's video somewhere. But I just saw it before I went on air. Is rather funny. Is that like a whole, like even the ones they dropped on the ground, they all went off at once with one big alarm, like return this to the Apple store and all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it turns out they could do that with Apple products, and so it's pretty dumb to rob the Apple store because they could just turn them off.
Yeah, who would have thunk?
Yeah, not them. They didn't think of nothing. You seen the guy in the video. That guy didn't even think, if I just drop this and make a break for it, I could get away. No, he was like, I got to hold on to these iPhones with my life, and now he's in jail.
I did see a guy once try and steal one of the iPhones from the local store at the mall here, and then I saw the security guard tackle him like an offensive lineman. It was almost like slapstick funny.
Well, and that's just, it's like just one phone is usually tough to get away with. I guess you could jailbreak them, but not if they brick them like that.
Right.
You can't even jailbreak the ones that they've bricked like that. Once that signal gets sent to them, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So they stole hundreds of paperweights that go
maybe, knowing them, maybe they'll throw those at the cops then.
Well, knowing those kind of people, they'll probably just get used to the wailing, annoying alarm sounds like they do with the fucking smoke detectors. So you'll just be walking through the hood and you'll just hear one house that goes chirp, and then the next house is like, oh, there's the fucking iPhone looters.
Yeah.
How many years do you think an iPhone store looter fail should get?
Probably like,
I'm a 3 to 5 guy on this one.
yeah, I was gonna say 2, so I was being like super generous, but no, I think 3 is actually more justified.
For looting,
So.
yeah, specifically looting, I think 3 minimum is probably a good. But the problem is, hey, these lefty places, even if the cops do arrest people, which we're not seeing in LA, like I mentioned, not nearly enough. What happens is the DA drops all the cases because the DA's in the pocket of the same political interests.
Right.
And then they get it in front of a judge. Well, and the judge is also politically aligned with the Democratic Party ideals. And so the judge won't bring it to trial, even if the DA does. It's an uphill battle to charge these people. Massachusetts went through this with the straight pride stuff, Sam. They charged like 10 people with active Antifa for actual crimes during a riot. It's one of the few times it's ever happened to Antifa, actually, up till that point. And in our state, even tried to stop the judge. They tried to throw the case out when the judge was like, no, if you commit violence on a police officer in Massachusetts, in my district, you're going to pay for it. You're going to see trial. And he did. He took them to trial, and they brought in all the money, all the lawyers, all the PR people. And I think 6 or 7 of them still got convicted to years in jail for assaulting police officers. It can be done.
Base judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, the reason that you do it is because you don't want this shit in your community. You don't want to be you can't go to the park because there might be a riot. You don't want to be that you can't go down to the local like fucking mini mall area because there might be a terror attack. This is insane. We cannot live in those conditions. You cannot thrive as people when you're scared of violence at all times.
Yeah.
And it's the tyranny of the mob.
Like I've seen, yeah, I've seen, photos of like California from the 60s. Granted, it wasn't perfect, but like it was beautiful, and like now, like it looks post-apocalyptic.
Because there was a couple generations that put in all this effort to build it into a beautiful place, and then it was fresh and new.
Yeah.
And since then, since the days of old Jerry Brown, ain't nobody been keeping up with it. It's all decaying. It's rotting away. The foundations aren't there. The hard old men that built the place got older and older and died, and they didn't replace them with hard men who know what they're doing and are taking care of their society. They replace them with diversity, and you see the results.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, those hard men included black men and Hispanic men and Chinese men and Japanese men, helped build California, especially post World War II.
Absolutely.
But they replaced them with blue-haired feminist dance theory instructors running the power plants. So what you get, what you fucking ask for. You put climate change activists in charge of infrastructure. You put gender activists in charge of water supplies. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? Instead of putting the guy in charge who knows the most about water and fighting fires in charge of fighting fires and water, they put the fucking lady who needs to take a trip to Africa.
Yeah.
I'm sure for the latest firefighting techniques, right?
Yeah.
It's insane. And I'm telling you, if you're going to build a society that doesn't pick the best people for the job, then you're building a society that is going to collapse upon its own feces.
Yeah, well, in the case of LA and San Francisco, that seems to be the case literally. So,
Yep. I don't know if you got, if you want to wrap up or you got any more, but
I don't got much more. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a heck of a week. I'd like to say that things are gonna get better, but I'm
they
not.
are.
I'm
They
not.
are.
They will. So.
No, they're going to get better. This has to come to a head. This has to come to a head. And there's only one conclusion to it. Well, there's two. There's two conclusions to it, but only one of them is going to happen, Sam. And you let them run roughshod until they burn that fucking city to the ground like they did to Minneapolis, or you bust some fucking commie heads and you regain order and you save it while there's still a chance. For most of us, it doesn't matter. We're not LA people.
That is true.
And California has given us very little reason to care about them for a very long time. They've been wagging their finger in the rest of our faces, telling us how we're not as good as them, how they're the coolest, they're the smartest, they're the best. They're so much farther ahead. They're so progressive. We're just so cool. Literally everybody, if you're in California, is like a celebrity, man. And then, when they have their problems, they're still wagging their finger in our face. Look at all the problems you're under, bitch. What the fuck?
Wagging their finger and then asking us for help. Fuck off.
Yeah. Finger wagging on the right hand with the hand reaching out at the same fucking time in the other, with the palm up, asking for a fucking handout. Well, I'll tell you what, all of those handouts and fundings should, in my opinion, be contingent upon you being able to control the population of your city so that people could go about their lives without the threat of violence.
Facts.
And you can't do that. You don't deserve any funding.
And quite honestly, I think that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's literally like, why do we have a government? Number one reason, so that things like LA don't happen.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's in both cases, because that's true of the fucking fires earlier in the year too. That's a natural disaster. That's a natural disaster, but that's the other fucking thing that you have a government to prevent. You have it to prevent violent, criminal behavior, antisocial behavior in public, and you have it to prevent natural disasters, or at least try to deal with them. And California has failed the two basic tenets of government just this year, and it's June.
Yeah, it's only we're only in June, so.
What I'm saying is Gavin Newsom's a shoo-in for the fucking presidency, right?
Oh, yeah.
Think he could win California? I don't even think he could win California.
I think that's all he wins.
Well, it depends. But if the Republicans run an even like marginally moderate candidate, that I think they could win California against Gavin. Just because it's Gavin. He's the only Democrat I think can't win California. Ever. I think he's the only one. They hate him. Dude, why do you think Jerry Brown didn't run for president, Sam?
Because he knows he couldn't even win California, probably.
Because he knew he couldn't win California. As a Democrat, as a longtime popular quote unquote Democrat governor, right? They loved him. They said he was like the future of the party. And then who did they anoint? Which governor got the presidency? It wasn't him. It was Bill. Right? And that's because Californians didn't like the way he managed California to such a degree that it would have ruined his fucking campaign. Gavin Newsom is Jerry Brown 2.0, only way crazier. So
Also looks a lot greasier too, honestly.
and that's saying something because Jerry Brown was greasy as fuck, but here we are.
Yeah. Used car salesman.
See, the thing about California, and particularly like the punk scene, the hardcore scene, and the rap scenes of California, like the anti-establishment, is that they have very, like, because it's like a uniparty state, right? If you're
Yeah.
going to rebel against the system as a Californian, like counterculturalist, like punk, hip hop, and stuff, you're obviously going to have to rebel against the Democrats.
Yeah.
So that's why so many hip hop, so much hip hop, so much punk, hardcore metal that comes out of California, they're all shitting on Jerry Brown. Right. And you could say, oh, you know, a lot of the punk was super far leftists, right? They were actual like Marxists and shit. And they're like, fuck Jerry Brown. Yeah. Ice Cube said, fuck Jerry Brown. Dead Kennedys said, fuck Jerry Brown. Like pretty much the whole counterculture. And it's literally because if the so-called like the leftist progressive, you know, far wing is the whole establishment, then for you to rebel against the establishment, you have to rebel against them. So they created their own fucking problem, and they still have no answer to it because this is still what happens to this day, right? They get control of an area, and it's not people like us even really complaining. It's the local black population. It's the local Hispanic population. It's Democrats in Democrat cities that hate being ruled by Democrats.
Yeah. But then those same people will move to states like Colorado, which used to be
vote
Republican,
Democrat.
and then they'll turn Democrat.
Because no one's ever they don't figure out that the Democrats were the problem.
Right. Yeah. They never figure out that their disastrous policies are, you know, the cause of the problem. So.
But so what else we got this week, Sam?
Well, I'm actually going out of town this weekend.
Busy man.
I'm going back to Colorado actually to celebrate my friend's 30th birthday. So quick in, quick out. I'll be back Monday, but I'm not sure if there will be a Monday show because of travel. So I might do a Tuesday show instead, maybe, or just maybe go a bit longer on next Wednesday. So, you know, to be determined, I guess. But we'll certainly be back next week, and then as for this week,
Bits and bones on Friday. No idea what we're covering yet.
yeah.
Well, there was all the different summer game fest announcements. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff. The new Xbox handheld got announced. All kinds of shit you guys could talk about.
Yeah, and then
I just haven't done a deep dive yet, but we'll figure out something, I'm sure.
And then sandwich makers on Saturday as always. So although Maxine, I hope Maxine is feeling a little bit better, or a lot better rather.
Speaking of Maxine, that invitation's still open to you, Maxine.
Yeah, she is starting to feel better. She got obviously my son's cold and it hit her pretty hard.
Yeah, that always sucks when you get sick. So.
Yeah, well, and it took him out of school for basically a week. Like he felt shitty on Monday, and then he said he felt better Tuesday, so we sent him, and they sent him home. And so we took him to the doctor, and then the doctor was like, just keep him till, Monday. And he feels better now, but over that weekend, she was like, oh my God, I feel as bad as he said he felt. Well, it happened.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that, but yeah, she's feeling better.
But anyway, well, I think we will call it an evening then. I am glad we had some laughs tonight, despite all the bleak news this week. And
if you're looking for moral laughs at bleak news, I'll probably stream more riot coverage throughout the week.
yeah, so there you have it. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and Max and Mort, thanks for joining me as always, and
Always.
we will talk to you fine folks down the line. And thank you to tonight's sponsors as well. Appreciate you, and we will talk to y'all later.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.